Good morning, mic check. Hopefully you can hear me. It was just too gorgeous of a day to not go up for at least an hour. Especially here in beautiful Washington. When it's a clear day, you kind of try to get it. You try to take advantage of it. One of the perks of living at the hangar is that I could just go upstairs, pre-flight, take off. Let the engine warm up a little bit more. One of the downsides of the Cub is I can't see out of the front. So I have to do these S-turns, which is especially fun in a narrow taxiway, but it's not so bad. There are worse things. A bad habit of mine is I have too much throttle and then I ride the brakes, which is not good, so I have to kick that habit. All right, heels off the brake. Stick to the right for a slight crosswind correction. Full takeoff power. Should have worn a jacket, but at least the doors are shut. Well, it does not get much nicer than this. I am barely on the controls. Look, Ma, no hands. So recently I've been looking for a new airplane just for planning purposes. In the future, you know, we want a growing family. We want a plane that can go a little bit faster, a little bit more fuel, a little bit more load, a little bit more fuel, so I can go farther. But it's really hard to let go of something like this, just because 90% of my flying, I don't really have a destination. So I don't actually have to get anywhere at any time, you know. I can dream and think that, like, oh, I want to fly to Idaho, go do some camping in the plane, but it's going to be very few and far in between, I think. And I think the next plane up, I was looking at a Pacer, right? And the next plane up, I think, was double the fuel burn. It was like, whoa. That was weird. I can hear myself talking. Barometer traffic, radio check. Barometer traffic, Cub 7127 Papa is 7 miles to the north, maneuvering for 45 for right traffic 02 Bremerton. I don't really, oh, the pacer was like a double the fuel burn. So, to just bop around and do what I'm doing right now, it would cost me twice as much money just in fuel to get the same amount of hours. Even though I would get somewhere faster, you know, it's not quite double the speed, but it is a lot faster than the Cub. But then I don't get to just do this, tool around, build time. I can also fly it nice and slow. So like when I flew over my friend's house, you know, I don't have to, I can fly at 55 miles per hour, whereas the pacer would stall at 50, I think. I didn't get too deep into it because that sail actually fell through, and for a second I was kind of bummed out that, you know, it didn't work out, but I think there was a reason. You know, there's a reason. I think God was just telling me, hey, you know, slow down a little bit. There'll be time in the future, get a bigger plane. So yeah, just giving me a little bit more appreciation for the Cub. It has its downsides. I covered this in another video, but you know, I only have two and a half hours of fuel, which means I can only go so far, especially since you know, right now my indicated airspeed is 75 miles per hour or 65 knots, and my ground speed is 78 knots. Okay, so I got a pretty good tailwind. I got to remember that for the flight home. But so yeah, the fuel limitation, the distance limitation, the useful load limitation, all of these things, you know, if I write that down on paper, then it makes sense for me to try and upgrade or want to upgrade. But then I'm in it, you know, I'm flying the Cub, and it's this back and forth where I wish I could keep this plane, but like I was saying, it's like, hang on, we'll watch out for some traffic. Remember your traffic, Cub. 7127 Papa is 4 miles northeast, waiting for the 45 for right traffic 02 Bremerton. And but so I get in it, and then my friends get in it, and I keep being told by pilots older than me and by younger pilots that want the same plane that there's just nothing like flying this. So it's my own hubris thinking that I know better, that I want something bigger, when in reality it's like I'm flying something that everybody seems to also want to fly. So, you know, I'm 36 years old now, and I got to start listening to when people tell me to just enjoy what I have while I have it. And I'm going to do my best. Right now, as I'm sitting here, yeah, I don't need another plane, and I'm very aware that this is a first world problem. Oh, my airplane doesn't go very fast. I can only carry one person. Well, if I really think about it, my problems are not real problems. I'm very blessed. I do think eventually that'll be in my future, you know, upgrading, and I'm sure I'll regret it, like I've been told many, many times, but for now I have the Cub, and I'm going to keep flying it until she's sold. So Bremerton traffic, Cub 7127 Papa's on the 45 for right traffic 02 Bremerton. I mean, this is just a gorgeous day. Really get much better than this, in my opinion. And I gotta admit, sometimes I forget how freaking cool it is to fly. Probably not at the level of like a CFI, just grinding it out, but I mean, as I've said before, we're living a Greek myth, and I need to remember that. If this was an engine out, I'm not sure I would have made the runway. So let's see. Just point right at it. Primary traffic, Cub 27 Papa is base of final 02, full stop Remington. I keep my speed up, right between 55 and 60 miles per hour. There's a bird right at the threshold. The whole time simulated engine out, so pretty happy about that. Remington traffic, Cub 7127 Papa's at the fuel pumps, section runway 02 via Alpha Remington. It's been a pretty fantastic day for flying. I figured I'd change it up a little bit though, bring the camera inside. See what other kind of views you can get, you know. Let's look for airplanes. Gotta remember we had that tailwind coming here, so we'll face a headwind going home. Not like we have to go too far anyway. You guys should fly to Apex. That's where I'm going. Nice. Remember, it's a pretty skinny runway. I feel like we're barely moving. Oh yeah, I'm doing 35 over the ground. Looks like we got like a 11 knot headwind. Which is probably why we were climbing at 1,000 feet per minute. It's pretty good. We got this golf course with all these really pretty greens to land on. No, for having this headwind though, it's still very smooth. I haven't done a cross country in a while. I've just kind of been flying for the sake of flying. There were 2 times though where I flew out of necessity. One was to move from my old hangar to my new hangar. And then the second time was pretty cool. I needed to go to Bremerton because they have a simulator so I could get my instrument currency back up before my time lapsed. And it hit me that I could just fly to Bremerton since it was a VFR day. So it was very strange walking out of my front door, going to the hangar, upstairs to the hangar, starting the plane like a car, flying 10 minutes to Bremerton, landing, do my simulator training, depart Bremerton, fly home 10 minutes, probably 15 minutes, and parking the plane, going right inside of my house. That was very strange to me. It was a strange feeling, but also really cool. Oh, like I was saying earlier, there are a lot of trees and woods, but there are quite a bit of roads nearby. Obviously, they have power lines that I would have to really look out for, but I mean, there's tree farms. They'll look fairly clear in the case of an emergency, so I just try to, you're constantly looking for somewhere to land should the need arise. 63, so we have just a 5-knot headwind. It's not bad at all. Just that illusion I was talking about, where the runway still seems super far away because it's so narrow and short. Especially having left Bremerton, which is twice the length and I think 5 times the width of Apex. The illusions, you really get you, so you really gotta practice. There's things like visual cues around like the topography, so I know that right around here I should be at about 1,000 feet and descending, obviously, next to this quarry, because you'll feel like you're really high and then all of a sudden you're adding a little bit of power so you don't slam into the runway. Just practice, practice, practice. Apex traffic, Cub 275 for short, final 35, full stop, Apex.